Hey guys, welcome to the channel, or welcome back. This is Guy in His Garage. My name's Cam, and today's focus is going to be on my truck. So if you don't know, it's a 2008 Ford F250 with a 6.4 liter Power Stroke turbo diesel. And before anybody goes down in the comments and say it's the worst diesel engine Ford's ever made, I don't want to hear it. All right, she's got almost 200,000 miles on her. Engine is the original engine, original transmission. She's been good to me. I take care of her when she needs stuff. I do it when the maintenance needs to be done. We do it. She's a great truck, but unfortunately, she needs some love. So today we're gonna pull both front hubs out and swap in some new ones. I'll show you guys those in a little bit. These are some top tier quality front wheel hubs. But for now, what we'll do is we'll go ahead, get the truck jacked up, get it setting on some 6-ton jack stands, and then start pulling it apart. Let's get into it. Okay guys, we got the jack under it. I haven't put a jack stand under it quite yet, but I'm going to show you guys something. And Dad, if you're watching this, I don't want to hear about this. All right. Typically, when your wheel hub's going bad, you can move the tire up and down, kind of like that. I don't know if you guys can notice, all of our lug nuts are super loose. So now I'm not sure if our lug nuts are loose because the wheel hub's been so jacked up that it's caused them to back out, or if our entire problem has been that our lug nuts somehow got loose and backed out. So I have the new wheel hubs for this truck anyways. I'm probably just going to replace the wheel hub anyways because I have the parts. It's a much better part than what's currently on this truck. So while we're here, we might as well just do it and get it done right. So let's get back to it. Okay guys, so I went to Walmart real quick and got like a $25 piece of carpet so that I can kneel on it, lay on it, and not get as soaked, because we're going to be here for a while. Unfortunately, this is much worse than I thought. So when you push the tire, you can see the movement. And some might say, oh, well, your lug nuts are just loose. And you're not wrong. However, when you go to try to spin these lug nuts, they don't do anything. They don't tighten, they don't loosen. And the reason for that, like this one is pretty bad, you can see here. It's moving in and out, which tells me that the studs themselves are no longer secured inside the hub. And on a normal car with a flat surface rim, wouldn't be a big deal. You could cut the lug nut and split it. However, because of our deep wells here for our lug nuts, that's not really going to work here. So I'm going to try to do is remove the brake caliper, the cradle, remove the innards of our four-wheel drive hub, and then disconnect the 4 retaining bolts that holds our hub assembly to the axle assembly, in the hopes that we can get the wheel, the rotor, and the hub to come out as one piece. And then once it's off the truck, try to figure out how we're actually going to be able to get the hub off of the wheel. I'm going to try to remove the brake caliper first. Again, this is going to be kind of tough because our wheel is still on here. Luckily, because of how loose it is, we might be able to get it to wiggle enough to give us the space needed to take the caliper off. But wish me luck. Okay guys, so we're going to remove our 2 bolts here that retain our caliper to our cradle. It's a little too big. 11/16. There we go. Okay, I'm gonna get a pry bar and try to stick it in here and just push it back a little bit. Of course. I don't know, guys. This is gonna be tough to film. I might just try to get this off and bring you guys back. Okay, guys, so it's been a little bit. I had to go in the house and warm up, because if you've ever been outside when it's low 40s, high 30s, and raining, you probably understand how cold you can get quickly. And I was getting to the point where I was pretty well soaked and freezing. So what I did is I removed our actual locking hub for our four-wheel drive. That's what we got right here. And then I removed the snap ring that holds our axle inside of our actual hub piece. And then what that did was that allowed me to undo. Yeah, you see how nice and wet that is? That's just great. What that allowed me to do is there's 4 bolts that actually hold our hub to our axle frame here. So what that allowed me to do by undoing the hub is actually get, it's probably hard for you guys to see it, we do have motion in our hub. So what I was able to then do was get it to come out just enough to get the caliper to come undone, get our brake pads out of our way, and now our caliper is hanging up there. So now what I'm going to do is finish removing these 2 bolts. That'll take our cradle off, and then what we can do is take these 4 bolts off, and then hopefully take the wheel, the rotor, and the hub off as one piece. So I'm going to go ahead and try to get that done, and I'll bring you guys back when we get there. Okay, guys, we've actually made some really good progress. I have the wheel and our brake rotor and hub assembly off of the truck. Now typically when you would do this, these would all be separate pieces and would not come off together. This is not how you should normally have to do this. Our issue is it's probably hard for you guys to see, but down here there's these studs that are pressed into the hub. They have little teeth or slots drilled into the side that causes them to bite into the hub when they're pressed in, and that is what your lug nut goes onto, is that stud, and that's what holds your wheel and your rotor to your hub. In this case, those little grooves apparently have rounded themselves, and all of our studs are spinning inside of our hub plate, which is why we had to take this off as one piece. So I'm going to try to do now is I'm going to try to clean the inside of this up the best I can with some wire brushes, wire wheels, and whatever, and then try to weld the stud to the hub, flip it over, and then try to undo our lug nuts and separate these back into their individual pieces. And then we're probably going to call it a day because it's already 5 o'clock on a Saturday, and we've been fighting this thing pretty much since 11 o'clock this morning. So once we get these separated, we'll call it a day, and then we'll pick it back up probably tomorrow, get the new hub on, get it all put back together on this side, and then do the driver's side, which hopefully, cross our fingers here, when we go to undo our lug nuts, they actually come off and our studs are fine. All right guys, so I already got all but 2 studs with 2 tacks on them. I'm not the best welder, all right? I can take 2 pieces of metal and stick them together, all right? It's not pretty, but it works. You know, grinder and paint makes me the welder I ain't. But if you're wondering, I got a Miller-Matic 135. It can run gas. I don't have gas in it right now. I'm just running flux core wire, which for stuff like this, that's fine by me. I'm not looking, again, like I said, I'm not looking for pretty welds. We're just trying to get this done. So I'm gonna finish welding up these last 3 studs. Make that 4. I'm gonna put a second bead on the other side of this stud. Then we'll flip this whole thing over and go around and see how many of my welds break or how many lug nuts come undone, and then hopefully we can pull this whole thing out of here. So let's get back to it. And of course, with great. Hopefully. I'm calling it a night. The new wheel hub on it tomorrow, just to be done with that. But unfortunately, without new pads and rotors, I'm not comfortable running that. They're just too hollowed out for me. You know, if I was in a pinch and I absolutely had to have the truck for some type of emergency, it'd be different, but it ain't worth my life or somebody else's on the road life for that to cause a catastrophic failure and total the truck. Unfortunately, like I said, guys, we're not gonna be able to go get the new project tomorrow. I've already reached out to the gentleman, let him know we're not gonna be able to come get it. Told him if he's got another buyer for it, go ahead, we'll find something else. But if he's willing to hold on to it another week, we'll probably go Friday after work, go get it. But as of right now, Triple G out there is out of commission. So, but hey, for how big of a problem we made some pretty good progress today. So it's a hard day, but a good day. We got something done, sort of. I'll see you guys when we pick back up. Well, guys, it's actually been a couple days. Fortunately, I had some time tonight after work, and I figured we'd try to get the new parts on it. But as you can probably hear in the background, it's starting to thunderstorm and rain. And after tearing this thing apart in the rain, I'm not putting it back together in the rain.